The ultimate goal in networking is to have in-person interactions with people who can help you to answer your questions, give you advice, and serve as future advocates for you as you explore career options. This is one version of what networking looks like. There is wine, everyone looks happy and happy to be there. But don't worry, because networking doesn't always have to look like this, and you can find many different ways to reach out and connect with your network. Sometimes networking looks like this: an informational interview over coffee in a relaxed setting with someone in a role that interests you. It could be a helpful 5-minute phone call with an alum, or a quick email to someone you meet at an alumni panel, career fair, or academic conference. Or even like this, emailing from your safe space, tucked up and cozy in your bed at home. These are all perfectly good networking approaches on your way to establishing face-to-face connections with people. But many of us who are not always so comfortable striking up conversations with people we don't know can ease our way into in-person conversations by starting with an email. In fact, a well-written, thoughtful email often provides a really solid foundation for your future conversations. The first stone in a series of stepping stones to help you achieve your networking goals. So here then is your 7-minute primer to writing effective outreach emails. Step 1. Figure out why you are emailing someone. You need to have clear networking goals in mind before you start writing so that you are communicating these to the recipient of your email. Here are 2 examples of good reasons to want to connect with someone you don't know very well yet, and who you may want to add to your network. Remember, your ultimate networking goal is probably to find the best job that fits your skills, interests, and values. Your networking goal for your email outreach is going to be more specific, with a much more limited scope. One important goal for your email is to be able to demonstrate to the reader that you value their perspective, and to make them feel good about helping you. If you are thinking about why you are emailing someone, you should also think about when, because even a small detail like this can help you to maximize the impact your email will have. Emailing at 8 p.m. on Friday or over the weekend can be seen by some people as a little invasive. Emailing people who work as faculty or staff at a university in early September might lead to your email being lost altogether in a deluge of other emails common at the start of the academic year. Take a look at anyone's email inbox these days, and you'll see that even during quiet times, there is a constant stream of emails arriving. You have to get your message seen and read, even though it is swimming in a sea of other emails. Think about when your new contact is likely to be most receptive and available to reading your email to reduce the chance that it will be accidentally tossed into the deleted mail folder. Step 2. Writing the email. When you are writing your email, you might find it helpful to write the body first and then write the subject. You will have a much easier time coming up with a subject once you've reviewed exactly what you're asking for in the email. Ultimately, these are some of the key elements you are trying to communicate in an email. Why you're writing, how you're connected, why you are writing to this person, what it is that you want, why this would be helpful to you, and what the next step is. If you can pack all of these into your short email and come up with a good subject, then it's going to be ready to go. There are many ways to write an email that people won't want to respond to. Make sure you've taken the quiz in this section to see some of the issues to avoid. Bad emails often fall into one of 2 categories. Ones that are too long, ask for too many pieces of information straight away, and that don't take into account the actual expertise of the person reading it, or emails that are far too short and general for people to know how to respond. But the goal is not to create one perfect email template that you can use over and over again. A good email will depend on lots of different factors: you and your personality, who your reader is, what they do, their personality, how they're connected with you, and how much research you've done on them and their career path. The quality of your email will also depend on what you're asking the reader to do. Check out this article, linked below, for some additional insights. Now here is a really crucial point. You need to make sure the person you are emailing knows why they are the person you are reaching out to. What is their unique knowledge, experience, or connection with you that makes them valuable to you, and that will make them feel good about being them? When people feel that they can help based on who they are and what they know, or what they've done, they're more likely to help. At a minimum, you should look at the person's LinkedIn profile and mention something that you saw that makes them a good contact. This could be their university, their employer, the projects that they've done, their interests, someone that you share in common, and so on. You can highlight some of your commonalities in your email. People would rather help someone who has demonstrated that they have been working hard to help themselves, and not a person who is looking for answers to questions that are easy to find. You never need to ask a question such as, "What does your company do?" Because 5 minutes of online research should give you all the answers you need. Once you have done all of this research, you will find that you can ask smarter questions. For example, I was reading that your company is actively moving into the medical health space. I'd love to hear how this has affected your role in the marketing department. Once you've explained why you're interested in your contact, get to your ask quickly. Your first outreach email should be short, because people will reply to a short message. People will start to read a long message, but might not read it all, and if they do, they might not end up having time to reply to it. Remember, in the time it takes to read a long email, your reader might receive 3 more emails, get a phone call, get a calendar reminder for a meeting in 15 minutes, and have someone pop into their office to ask them an important work-related question. All of these can distract the reader and decrease the likelihood that they will respond to a long, complex email from someone they don't know. So what is your ask? Think carefully about this and try to have a single, simple ask. Here's an example of a difficult ask. Think about why this might be difficult to respond to. There are multiple questions and requests that are somewhat different and definitely unprioritized. The first request is based on the reader knowing something about the writer, which they don't at this point, and so they cannot answer this. Saying things like, "I am trying to learn about," may not be a specific enough request. The activation barrier to respond then would be quite high. Here is a more straightforward approach to a simple ask. Think about this request in terms of the activation barrier. It is much easier to respond to because it is a simple yes or no answer. Most people wouldn't answer no to this, and so all the reader has to do is say yes and then get back to their busy day. But once they've responded to you once, they are much more likely to respond to your future outreach. So you are taking a stepping stones approach to building a strong, professional relationship, making it easy for people to respond, and then using this as a solid foundation for asking smart questions that value your contact for their own experiences and insights. This is just one of many types of asks that you can make in an email, but gives you an idea about what might get more of a response. Now with the email written, let's get back to the subject line. This is going to be your first opportunity to catch the attention of your reader. So, don't write subjects like my mother does in her emails. Think about what makes you open up an email. Think about what is going to stand out as interesting and intriguing to your reader. Think about which of your emails you have already sent have received positive responses. But what happens if you follow all of these instructions, send out your outreach emails, but don't hear anything back? When this happens, there is a temptation to jump to the worst case scenario. People start asking themselves what they could have done so badly and so wrong that people actively and passionately refuse to reply to them. The answer to the question of what you have done wrong is oftentimes nothing. If you have written a good email, then usually it has nothing to do with you at all. If you are reaching out to someone who can offer you great insights into a career field, then they are probably very busy doing whatever they are meant to be doing to be able to offer their effective insights. They have their own set of projects, initiatives, client requests to deal with. Unless they are actively looking for an excuse to stop doing their work, then your request to initiate contact will not be as high a priority as their work. They might say to themselves that they will answer this later, and then get carried away by the work and forget that you had sent your email. Indeed, you may be one of several people reaching out to them with a networking request. If you don't hear back in a couple of weeks, reach out again with a slightly different approach. Think about whether you know someone in common with your contact, as this person might help you make an introduction. Or you could drop their name in your email as a way to catch the attention of the reader. Don't forget, you don't want to develop standard generic templates for your emails. You want authentic, customized emails that will be meaningful to your reader. The more important the contact is to you, the more time you'll want to spend on researching who they are, how you overlap, how they can help you, and what you want to say in your email. Take a look at some of the additional resources in this section that can help you think about your networking strategy.